Hello there DC Gamer, how are you going? Today we have the new Renaissance run that has opened up and we have the Renaissance Dragon as one of the rewards. Of course we've had all of these time elemented legendaries coming in the last few events, and once again you can get your hands on another one which is Light, Happy, Pure and Time, which is an interesting set of elements overall, and I definitely want to get my hands on this dragon. And so how can you actually get the new Renaissance Dragon? And not just that, you've also got tons of other dragons such as the ZHC Dragon, we've got Maze Currency, we've got these Refraction Prisms, we've got dragons such as Piety, I believe, and then we've got Gems. We've got some cool dragons that are on offer here. And so today I did want to go through how you can get your hands on all of these dragons, and Aztec, he's nice. How you can get your hands on all of these rewards up to around about Renaissance, and maybe even the 20 gems up top. And the very first thing that you want to do in order to give yourself a massive leg up in this event, ignore even the quests at this point. The first thing you want to do, which some new players don't really know about, is that you'll see that in the Maze of Dimensions event, hopefully you've been saving up your currency, there's actually this new path that's opened up today with the Cherimoya Dragon. And along this path, there are actually flight stamps available. So you can go through the Cherimoya path and get actually quite a lot of extra moves to use. Well, I say moves, but actual runs that you'll have to do. So you get ×5 on each of these, ×5. There's also a couple of other decent rewards. Then there's some food, and then you can also get Cherimoya at the end if you want to. But this is the first best way of getting lots and lots of bonus flight stamps at the beginning of this event. And then obviously on top of that, you're going to have the actual reset currency. So in this case, you've got +7, +5, and +3. So that is 15 for every single reset. And plus all those bonus ones from that maze event, and you'll have quite a lot even to do by the end of the first reset. Now, the other thing is of course the actual quests themselves. In order to make sure that you're going to have everything available for this event, make sure that you've always got food available to collect, make sure that you've always got enough food to actually feed dragons. Breeding can be a pain, but you can actually do it with Terra plus Terra. Don't do what I did and think that you're rebreeding Terra plus Terra and you end up rebreeding Nature plus War. Don't ask me how I did it, it's because I moved over from mobile to PC and forgot that it doesn't save the rebreed. Don't do that, that was a big oh no. But you can do Terra plus Terra breeding to count towards that quest, which is the easiest and best way to do it if you've only got, say, one breeding den free. So always keep one of them free, and at the same time you should realistically always keep one hatchery slot open so that you can hatch them, and you will get some quests like hatching and things like that as well. And you can do it with one of those, and in this case, because the next reset is in 2 hours 19 minutes, and this egg is going to be at 12 hours in 2 hours and 30 minutes-ish, that's fine, because then I can speed up the last 12 hours on this, because I do have the 12-hour speed-ups. If you don't, you need to be very careful with the breeds that you're doing. And there will be quests every so often in this event where it will ask you to do league battles and things like that. So hopefully you've got the dragons available to actually do well in the league. Of course, the only real tip, apart from just having good dragon's forehead for this event, is to not level up too quickly if you're not really keeping up in terms of your dragon levels. Personally, I never really struggle with leagues anymore at all, because I've got some decent dragons, heroics and such now, so it's not really too much of a struggle. But for leagues as well, I'm not going to use my combat energy. Don't just use your energy for the sake of it in case we do get those quests come up. So keep all of that in mind when you are doing this. Then the other part of all of this running event is of course actually doing the runs themselves. And I have gotten, I think my highest score was something like 55,000. I kind of want to hit 60,000 this event, but will I actually get there? I don't know. But actually doing the runs, there's quite a lot of things that you should take into account. You'll learn patterns of when you're doing the runs themselves. But the main thing is to try and stay alive, because if I go and do a run now, for instance, it's a lot easier on PC. My first tip among everything would be to actually play this event on PC, because it is so much easier to move around. But the other thing, the main thing with this event is don't take any unnecessary risks. Like if you are on mobile or if you're just not very quick with your fingers, just at least try to get up to the rainbows as a minimum, because they will give you a boost of these pinwheels. And so you should at least be getting every single rainbow every single run. That should be your minimum that you're going for. And on top of that, I do like to aim for at least 110 per run. Sometimes if I'm not paying attention, I will die earlier than that, but I would say on average you should be getting 100 pinwheels per run every single run if you want to have a good shot at getting that legendary and all of the others. Some people... I pressed the wrong button. That's what I get for trying to talk at the same time. But, you know, we hit 100, like I said. That was super easy, like you saw. I should have been able to get more than that, but that's what I get for pressing V instead of spacebar somehow. But that's just an example. Like, you should be getting at least 100 every single run. Even on mobile, it's possible. You will occasionally get the more difficult sort of combinations that will come up. And, like, there was one in there where I had to very quickly double tap up in order to get out of it, and that one I know does kill a lot of runs for people. But, you know, if you've not played too many of these, you will eventually get your head around some of... Ooh, double rewards! Oh, I can't even do that because I can't get it on PC. No! Oh, I could do it on mobile, not PC. Woe is me, I've run out of ads. Well, that's another sucky wucky. But if we go into another run here, I'm going to make sure my hand is actually over spacebar this time. But there are specific patterns that are going to be a lot more difficult to handle, but hopefully if you played these events before, you know how to deal with them. And after you get above, what is it, 125-ish, roughly around there, pinwheels, then it will only give you gold and food to collect, so you won't be able to get any more event currency past that point. So when you get to that stage, you don't really need to worry about anything event related. You can just go for high scores at that point, if you can actually get there, that is. But again, if you ever feel like you're getting a little bit overwhelmed, that one's a tough one there. If you ever feel like you're getting overwhelmed with things on your screen, just like there, don't go for the extra pinwheel. Just chill. Just chill it out. Just try and collect some more pinwheels, the easier ones, you know? Just don't risk dying early. That's the main thing. Like, there's no reason for, like, an extra rare orb or something. Like, it's not worth it when you're gonna potentially risk losing out on event currency, and do that enough times, and that could mean that you're not gonna get that legendary, which, obviously, we want the legendaries, we want all the bonus rewards, we want the gems, we want everything. I guess there's a lot I could go through. Not while I'm actually talking while I'm doing it, in terms of the best ways to actually deal with each of those, because it's going to depend on how you play, but it's also going to, in general, be what is actually just the safer option. If you can just go and move with the arrow keys, for example, I find that a lot more reliable than trying to go for spacebar. But it does depend on the pattern that comes up. But you should, if you just, you know, play it safe, don't be a big dummy, and you have your hands over the right keys, you should be able to get at least 100 to 110 every single run. It should be very easy to do that, and that's realistically what you're going to have to be getting every run if you want to get your hands on Renaissance. At least guarantee that you're going to get close to Renaissance. But the other thing, with the quests themselves, you do need to be doing every single one of these quests every single 8-hour period, which means not missing the resets, and it does mean that the more difficult +7 quests, sometimes they're going to be a little bit tougher with the battles and things that you have to do, but they're really important that you get all of these done. I have been able to get the final reward dragons a couple of times now, while missing a few of these, but not very many. You can't afford to really miss any of them realistically, like maybe 2 to 3 runs worth, so don't do that. And, you know, 8-hour resets really aren't too bad for when you can earn more currency, but those are the general tips when it comes to this, these Dragon Run events. It's not just Renaissance Run, it's all of them in general. And of course, I could do a more in-depth guide on actually everything that I do in the run to get up to like 50, 60,000 points. Again, it requires me to actually focus, but, you know, mobile users, I do not envy you, because I've tried to do this event on mobile and it's not very fun. It's not very fun trying to move along that screen super quickly. It's a lot easier on PC, so if you can log into your PC or via your PC, I do recommend it. That is assuming you actually have a working keyboard, which, to be honest, some people don't, even though they've got a PC, which is very concerning. But, you know, I'm hoping that we can use all of our currency, get ups to these dragons, get a lot of useful event currency, and of course at the same time there are things like ads that they'll come up with, and maybe they'll give us some bonus currency for those. There's none for this one, as you can see. But there was on the previous set of ads that I watched, so if you're a free-to-play player and you can actually watch ads, so you're not someone that's locked out like some newer players, definitely watch some ads for some event currency when they come up. I mean, like this chest here, it may not be event currency chest, but look at some of these dragons that we could get. We could get some really cool legendaries, even the food's useful. We could even get this heroic, and you know, I like me some free heroics, why not? High Priest is a really cool one as well, pentagram on the floor. But of course, the other thing with these quests is you can actually gem one or two of them if you really need to finish off the quest. So for example, the Breed Dragons quest, say that you get stuck and like your breeding dens are full, your hatchery is full, you can't touch it, but you only need one more point, then it is possible for you to actually just gem that final one, and it will cost, I believe it's about 5 gems, and sometimes that's actually going to be more gem efficient than it would be to go and gem the breed itself. The only problem is then your hatchery and breeding den problem is not going to be fixed, but depending on the situation it's better to just gem that singular quest. But you know, the better thing to do would be to prepare in advance and not fill up your breeding sanctuaries with the wrong breeds. Yes, I am hating on myself right there. But anyway, the only other thing I really wanted to note about today is that on top of that event itself, we do also have Breeding Event Island, which has the ZHC dragon in there, and you see that we can also get him from the Runner event. So this is basically how you'd get your hands on the bonus orbs for this guy. The easiest way, but even then, you know, it's random breeding, and whether you're going to get him or not, well, that's the question. But if you can breed a lot of him, get his orbs, why the heck not, basically. And it's a 1-day, 12-hour breed, and there's over a week to breed him, so maybe you'll get lucky, get him a couple of times, and maybe you'll be good to go. But in general, I guess that is everything I wanted to note about the Runner, or the Renaissance Run event. I did also want to quickly update that I do actually have some more really cool dragons on my islands now, such as Spooks, the high score dragon, which I did get from a random event recently, and I do also have Prideful on my islands now, which is fantastic. I don't remember where I put him though. Where are you, Prideful? There he is. The only reason I haven't leveled up Prideful yet is because I do have Morpheus, and Morpheus does have the ice and water that Prideful has, so I don't super desperately need Prideful, but definitely I'll be looking to level him up soon. But we're getting lots of new dragons, and for the most part I'm trying to focus on my storage hatching rather than breeding, because this storage issue is remaining an issue. No matter how much I try and hatch them, there's too many legends to hatch. Maybe we'll get like 400 dragons by the end of this month. At this rate, maybe we will. There's just so many legends and epics to hatch, I don't know what to do anymore. But anyway, I'm going to try and grind out and see if I can get up to 60,000 points in Renaissance Run. If not, I do still have the recording of my 55,000 run if anyone wants to see it. But, you know, best of luck. I hope that you can get all of these dragons and get all the bonus gemmies and such. And, you know, Renaissance is a cool guy.